morning, everyone. How is everyone doing this morning? I hope that your day is off to a wonderful, fantastic start. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Carrington. Not your first time here, hi, welcome back. If you enjoy any and all things makeup related, love to hear about new reviews, then definitely hit that subscribe button, click the little bell, as well as if you enjoy this video, make sure you guys give this a thumbs up. I know you all want to join this dumpster fire of a family. It is a great time here, so let's go ahead and let's dive on in. Okay, so I'm going to be doing as much of a full face as I can with the Saie Beauty. So they don't have like a ton of things, you know, just to be fair, they don't have a lot quite yet. But I did purchase, a lot, and I already own a lot. So I already own like this Star Glow serum. I've never used it, but I own it. I've got the Saie bronzer. We've got the Saie slip tint. We have the Saie setting powder. And then I did purchase a couple more of the Dew Blush Liquid. Oh my gosh, I keep dropping everything. Dew Blush Liquid Cheek Flush. I've got Rosy and Chili. I did purchase a Brow Butter Sculpting Grooming Brow Pomade. Mine is in the shade Clear. I did purchase one of their concealers, which is a new product. I also purchased a Sun Visor Broad Spectrum SPF 35 Sheer Moisturizer. And then finally, I purchased a mascara. So we are going to be like testing all of these out. So the first thing I want to do, so this has time to like sink in because I do my eyes first, is we're going to dive on into this Sun Visor Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Sheer Moisturizer. So literally all that it says. This is a super light, super hydrator with 100% mineral SPF 35. Applied generously as the last step of your skincare routine and 15 minutes before sun exposure. And then it just like gives you a whole bunch of like drug facts. So like the active ingredient is zinc oxide, helps prevent sunburn, used as directed with other sun protection measures, decreases the risk of skin cancer and early skin aging caused by the sun. So just so you guys know, I am a sunscreen-aholic. Yes. Okay, so it comes in this packaging. It's similar to their tinted moisturizer, except for this comes in a purple tube, and the tinted moisturizer comes in a gray tube. But other than that, it looks very, very similar. So anyway, fun fact for you guys. When I was 4, okay, so this is not very common for a 4-year-old, but when I was 4, my mom noticed a mole on my head and took me to the doctor, and they didn't, like, you know, they were just like, oh, you know, it looks a little bit weird, but like, you know, she's 4, it wouldn't really be like skin cancer. And so my mom kept an eye on it, and it was changing to like completely and totally like white. And my mom kept taking me back to the doctors, and they were just like, yeah, it's very unlikely that she would have skin cancer at the age of 4, or that she would have like a mole that would be changing colors. But then she demanded, she's like, nope, I want a biopsy done. So they did. It was stage 1 melanoma. So I had it removed, and I had the skin, or the healthy skin around it removed. And then I just do like follow-up, you know, appointments to check my other moles to see, you know, yearly, see if any look cancerous. If they do, remove and see, like, you know, biopsy it. Okay, so this is very, very moisturizing, but it almost feels like kind of greasy. Like it really does feel super greasy. And I noticed like with other moisturizers or sunscreens, I don't really necessarily feel as greasy as this does, but it really does provide a really good glow. And again, I'm going to be doing my eyes first, so we have, you know, plenty of time to like let this set and see what happens. But overall, so far, so good. So I'm gonna go ahead, do my eyes off camera, come back so then we can start using the complexion products. All right, so I know my eyes are looking a little bit crazy and wild right now. It will all come together, I'm sure. So update on the sunscreen. I will say that it's not feeling as greasy as it was originally when I went in with this, but I will say it still is feeling a little bit greasy. So I'm now going to just prime my face with this because I feel like this gives me all the hydration that I really need. Into this Saie Glowy Super Gel in the shade Star Glow. I got this in like a clean Sephora kit. over like around Christmas time. Okay. That took a while for it to really get going. Okay. So I guess my question is, like, does this make my face look any more glowy than it did with my skincare and the, like, sunscreen? I don't know. Do you guys feel like this added more glow? Still look the same as it did before? Let me know all that down in the comments. I was a little bit nervous that this was going to be maybe like too dark, just because like in this, like, it does kind of look a little bit too dark, but on the skin it kind of just blends out into nothing, so it looks really good. So next, something that I have used before is this Saie Swift Tint Broad Spectrum SPF 35 Sunscreen Tinted Moisturizer. So again, we're definitely adding some more, you know, sunscreen to our face, but when you're going to be out in the sun, there's no such thing as too much sunscreen. So this really is just kind of like a tint. I feel like it does kind of add a little bit of, you know, coverage, but I wouldn't say it's a lot. Like, I would just say it's pretty minimal amount of coverage. So for me, like in this area right here, I would like more coverage. I'm just going to go in with my concealer and just kind of add more coverage to that area. But it does, I mean, it's really, you know, again, very luminous. It's very much like a tinted sunscreen. It looks like my face looks very just like feels and looks just very like very greasy, but it's not looking awful, you know, sinking really nicely into the skin. It's not looking cakey, not really looking patchy. Again, just didn't really provide a whole lot of coverage, but that's like not the end of the world. So for concealer, I'm going to go into the Saie Hydra Beam Sheer Brightening Under Eye Concealer. Okay, is that all it says? That's all it says. Okay, so mine is in the lightest shade that they make. This is in HB1. Here's what I'm going to say about their complexion products. I just don't feel like they cater extremely well to like people with fair skin. I'm not really for sure about like deeper skins, deeper skin tones. You know, I haven't really watched any reviews just because I want to kind of have my own opinion on stuff. But I really have not like heard anybody just like really say much of anything. I will say this is really hard to get some of the product on underneath my eyes. Okay, so we're just gonna start blending this out. Okay, it blends out just very, very easily, and I feel like it did provide some coverage. I would not call this full coverage, and I would even say not really even like a whole, like a medium coverage. I would say definitely a light coverage as well. I wonder if we can build it up though. Like, I just wonder if we can build this up. Also, I wanted to note while I'm building this up that when it came in a package, so I ordered this stuff directly from their website because Sephora just was like out of everything that I wanted to get. So I was like, well, you know, I'll just buy it myself from their website. So I did. And first things first, so it came in a box, in a nice fit box that had Saie all over it. So, you know, it was on your porch, you knew who it was from. But, so they pad their products with like this. And inside those are cotton balls. Use them. It's true, our packages are padded with cotton balls. made in the USA from organic cotton. Open the pouch and swipe away. Try one for makeup removal. Try one for a fresh toner. And then on the box, basically it was like talking about how a lot of their their products, when you're done with the tube, you can actually send it back to them and they will recycle them. So I thought that was really cool, really interesting, and a great way to like save the planet. So I need to like remember, if I use up one of these products, like just remember that. Okay, so I will say I added another layer. This is a very like hydrating. Right now I'm just very hydrated. Like a very hydrated, light type of coverage. It builds up a little bit more, but again, I just don't feel like it's still like at that medium level. So, okay, so next up we have the Saie Sun Melt Natural Cream Bronzer. Mine is in the shade Light Bronze. So, here we go. As you can tell, I have a little dip in it. I do actually really enjoy this bronzer, truthfully. So I'm just going to take some of this on a brush and just start stippling it in. I mean, it really does just nicely just like bronze up the skin. Looks really nice. Not too crazy and overboard, just really just like nicely goes on, sinks into the skin type of look. And this is just a very just like radiant type of bronzer. You know, it just seems like for like the most part, their line is really directed for like a very like hydrated, no makeup look, and I know that can definitely be something that a lot of people are into. So next up, I have the Saie Dew Blush Liquid Cheek Flush. I have the shade Chili and the shade Rosy. So the blushes, I didn't realize I wasn't filming, but anyways, so we have on one hand, this is Rosy, which as you can tell has some really good pigmentation to it, and then Chili, which is darker, I just don't feel like has like as much pigmentation. It's definitely just like much more sheer, which is interesting since it's like a much darker color. But basically I just mixed those two together and just kind of stamped it into my face, and we're still really glowy. We are real glowy. I think at this point we are past Hoey. Maybe Lot Lizard is might be where we are. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, so next up, we just have stuff galore to try, is the Mascara 101 Thick Bold Lifted Lashes. So here's what the packaging looks like. Okay, here is the wand. Has like a little ball, like little spikes coming out at like the end. Interesting. I probably am going to be doing like false lashes, but so here's just like literally one coat. Like you can't even tell that this is on. So next up we have I've popped on some lashes. We have the Brow Butter in Clear. Ooh, look how tiny that is. Ooh, I think I might like that because I don't have like a lot of like brow hairs. So to get something that's really like gonna get in there, that's nice and small. Ooh, I think I might like this a lot. Okay. So far, it's not getting everywhere. It's really sculpting out my brows like Alright, so then we're gonna set the face because this is just, it's very dewy. It is like maybe like a little bit overly dewy. So I'm gonna use the Saie powder powder. This is in the shade Translucent. This is not translucent. I have used this before and it is very, very like yellowing. So this is not translucent. So if you want something translucent and you're fair, this is not it. Okay, so I just press that in with my sponge, and then I'm going to take my big fluffy brush and just pick up the rest of this and just start patting over my face, which helps somewhat with the glow, but like it doesn't take away all of the glow, if that makes sense. Like we're still glowy, but we're a little bit more satin. And I think I think this is a radiant powder. Yeah, it's a radiant loose setting powder. So wish it wasn't quite so yellow, but my face is really nice and satin, but it still has that glow and it doesn't look bad on my skin. Like it doesn't look heavy or anything like that. So I just wish it wasn't so yellow. All right, so these are all the products from Saie Beauty. I'm gonna go finish off the rest of my face off of camera, come back so that I can kind of give you guys my final thoughts and rank the products. So here is the completed and final look. What do you guys think? We are definitely very glowy. My skin looks seriously just like very, very healthy, just like it's naturally glowy, minus the highlight because I like to beam. But the rest of my skin just looks really nice, hydrated, and healthy. So let's talk about the products from my least favorite to my most favorite. So number one, my least favorite is going to have to be this mascara. I just didn't enjoy it. It didn't really do anything for my lashes. It didn't, it made some claims like lift and lengthen and stuff like that. And I didn't really find it did anything for my lashes. Honestly, this just wasn't it for me. If you like minimal mascaras, you might like that. But for me personally, that's just not something that I enjoy. Next up is going to have to be this tinted moisturizer. I don't necessarily think this is bad. I think this would be okay, it's not necessarily bad, especially for like my dry skin. I think my dry skin would love this, but it's just very, very greasy. So for me, I use a lot of really hydrating products anyways during my skincare routine. So honestly, I think I would need to like back off some of my hydrating products and then go in with this. I think that would be better. If you have oily skin, honestly, if you have oily skin, I don't know if this line is really going to be like dedicated to you. I have really dry skin and I just noticed like I looked radiant the whole time, hydrated, and I know for like oily people that may be a little bit too much and too intense. So I just want to clear that right now. If you have super oily skin or oily skin, I don't know if this is going to be the brand for you, but for me with dry skin, I actually do enjoy this brand and how hydrated everything looks, and it just sinks in so nicely. But this is just definitely very like greasy, very heavy. So it would definitely be like a no makeup kind of a day, or maybe if I was using like a matte foundation or something, I would go in with this then. But other than that, like it's just, even for me with dry skin, it's just a little bit too heavy and greasy. Next up is this concealer. It's not that I don't like this concealer, it's not in the shade for me. I need a lighter shade. So I'm hoping, maybe we'll be watching people who also are having issues finding shades for them and expand their shade range, because this just is not working for me. Honestly, my under eyes just look like I just went in with foundation. There's nothing brightening about it, nothing exciting about it. I will say this is a really good hydrating concealer. It's very, very light coverage, and that's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting from this. It's just like a very light coverage kind of a line, like a very hydrating, no makeup kind of a line. So for this, it's just like a very, very light type of coverage. You can build it up, but I didn't think even when I built it up that it was anything extraordinary or really covered a whole lot. But I do think that it's really nice, really hydrating. I could see me using this to like mix in with some other of my concealers, but just for this on its own, it just didn't wow me. Next up for me is probably going to be this Saie powder. I think the Saie powder is really, really beautiful. The issue that I have, same with the concealer, is that it's just not a shade for me. Like this is translucent and it's just too yellow, and it's just not something that I enjoy. So it's just not a good shade match for me. It's very, very like yellow, very, very dark. It really just like kind of darkens up my under eyes and my face. So I like this powder just like I like the concealer, but I just need a better shade for me. This just isn't catering to like my skin tone range. Next after that is probably going to be this Saie Slip Tint. This is just very like a no makeup kind of day, as this line is kind of catered towards. This is definitely is a slippy kind of a tint, and you don't really get a whole lot of coverage. So, for me, I really do like that some days, but I don't like that every day, and I don't actually really like that most days. I definitely want a lot of coverage so I can cover up my redness in my cheeks and my under eyes, and this just doesn't really give that to me. I think the shade for me works out really good, but this just, the shade works out, so that's like a positive, but like other than that, like just doesn't really provide coverage, but it's a very, very good option for a no makeup day, and it has some added SPF, so I love that aspect as well. Next up for me is going to be like this, what is this called? Glowy Super Gel. I think this is really nice. I can see what the hype is about. It really does make you very, very glowy. I think adding all of the products, all of these skincare, all these products together, you are going to get a very glowy and hydrated look. So if that's something you're going for, you're really going to like this. But I think you will also like this if you would like something glowy underneath other type of products that maybe won't add to like your oiliness or anything like that, which I don't think this does. I think this really just does just apply like a very nice glow to the skin without being like greasy or heavy or anything like that. So I really do like this product. I will use it again. I will use it with different foundations. I really do enjoy this. I thought this was going to be too dark for me. It doesn't. It blends out and literally looks so good. So I do enjoy that. Next up is going to be the cream bronzer. I really love just like how light and natural and dewy it is. I mean, as you guys can tell, I have gone into this hardcore. I think this is a really good bronzer. The thing is that it's not super emollient, so you do kind of have to work with it a little bit to get it to pick up on the brush or a sponge. But once you do, it easily picks up, and then it glides on beautifully. Blends out beautifully. It looks absolutely fantastic. So I think overall, this is a really good bronzer option if you like that dewy, glowy type of cream bronzer. Next up is going to be the Super Dew Cheeks. I think those are really good as well. Again, it's definitely one of those where it's just really glowy and dewy and makes your skin look healthy. I love their blushes, honestly. I've tried other blushes from them. These are just the two that I just now picked up. I have Poppy as well. I just love the formula. It's just so creamy. It's really good consistency. It really does, you can build it up, you can sheer it out. So I feel like this is good for anyone, because you can definitely build it up for your skin tone, or you can sheer it out depending on what you like blush wise. So I really do like this product. I think that's fantastic. But my number one all-time favorite from today is going to have to be this brow gel. First of all, my brows, I just don't have a lot of brows. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of brows. So I love this mini tip, because it really does just get in there. It also does a nice job of shaping my brows, and it doesn't feel overly crunchy or sticky, but you can definitely tell it has a hold. And I really like that for my brows, because my brows can kind of go everywhere, instantly. And I do my brows myself at home, so I'm just kind of working with what I can. And I just love how tiny this is. I love how precise this is. I love that it holds my brows really, really well. I can work a pencil through it without any issues. So I really love this. I think this was probably my favorite thing that I tried. Actually, it was my favorite thing. Not probably, it was. This is the favorite thing that I tried today. If you have really sparse brows like me, and you're having trouble trying to find something to hold your sparse brows that doesn't get all over your face, that is it. That is definitely it. But just overall, in general, with this line, just know this is definitely a radiant, very glowy, no makeup kind of a brand. If that's something you like, you have dry skin, I think you'll enjoy this. If you like more full coverage, more matte, this is not a brand for you. But that is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click the little bell so you're notified of all my future uploads, and so you can join this dumpster fire. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Hope to see y'all over there. Bye.